Alright guys, Rich here from the RCNetwork, and this is going to be my full review of the Losi Mini 8T. T stands for Truggy. This is their second version of the Mini series. The Mini 8 buggy came out almost about 2 years ago, and what a great fun little buggy that thing was. And the Truggy definitely leaves where the buggy left off in the fun factor. So, but this is going to be my full review of this buggy. I've put about 10 packs now through this Truggy and have really enjoyed it throughout its stay here so far at the RCNetwork. Now, going from here, there is going to be a huge upgrade series of this vehicle, so please stay tuned and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I plan to do the full RCNetwork treatment to this Truggy and really kind of get the fun factor up about 6 more notches on this particular car. So let's go ahead and start with a review. Like I said, about 10 packs through it so far, and the fun factor is just there with this thing. I mean, dollar for dollar, what you pay for this thing versus the fun you have, the fun factor is above what you pay. So that's the bottom line of this Truggy. Now, really quick on the 2.4 gigahertz radio that comes with it, Losi has really done a great service here by providing the DX2E. I mean, when you open the box, you see this thing and you go, wow, this is an RTR radio? I mean, you really feel that you get a good quality radio right out of the box. It starts with the nice rubber foam grip right here on either side. It's nice and comfortable in the hand. It really feels like a quality item. The wheel is plastic. It does not have a foam kind of wheel writing on it, and I may have liked that a little bit better just because I'm used to that. All the controls on this thing were great. The kind of rubber antenna right here, the little shark fin, awesome. Nothing broke, which is great. 4 AA batteries, and I've actually just went ahead and mounted a GoPro mount right there. That's my own personal one. Doesn't come with the Mini 8T. So, but all in all, really happy with this thing. Now, the AVC control was actually this steering dual rate knob up here. Now, I had it on the entire time, and I took it off and I put it back on just because it was kind of fun having kind of like an autocorrect every time you drove. So anytime you started to get sideways, it would just kind of, correct itself throughout the running. So very cool feature. I'm going to do a separate video on the AVC feature, which is basically just a built-in gyro inside the car. So if you happen to start to swerve to the right, it'll autocorrect and make you go left. So pretty cool, especially for beginning drivers and drivers like me that just go out there and kind of bash around with this thing. So, but pretty cool radio. All in all, awesome ad there from Losi. And to the Truggy, this thing has just been so much fun. I think compared to the Mini 8, this thing is so much more stable only because it's larger. Now it is lengthened from the buggy and also wider, so anytime you bring those two factors in, it's just going to give you a little bit better stability on the dirt, track, pavement, whatever you're running on. So very, very nice that they've kind of lengthened it, made it wider, and it's just so much fun to drive. So onto the shell here. Great shell. Anytime you're running a Truggy or a buggy, it's not much going to happen to it because it's pretty much protected by the wheels. So got a little bit of scuffing right here, which is normal wear and tear. But all in all, great shell. Looks great. It looks like it's fast. I mean, just sitting there, it looks like it's moving. So pretty cool design from Team Losi. Now onto the buggy here. You'll see that the tires, after running on some pavement, obviously, hopefully if you guys seen the running video of this thing, I really beat the hell out of this thing, and the tire wear is almost minimal. I'm going to bring the rear up here so you guys can see it, but it has a pretty hard compound, and you can kind of see some of the ones that are starting to kind of wear off, and it's pretty rough on this thing. So to say the least, these tires are doing great so far, but what's even more important is where do you get replacements? Well, you can pretty much put on any 10th scale rear buggy wheels. So I happen to have a set here from Proline Racing. These are going to be going on here soon in the upgrade series. set of electrons. These are the new VTR 2.4-inch wheels, and they will bolt right onto this thing. So really cool that you can get pretty much any rear buggy wheel and tire out there and put it on your Mini 8T. So awesome feature there. On to the electronics. Let's talk about those things now. Now, like I said, the AVC is built into the actual ESC here. And the ESC did fine. I had no issues with the ESC. I ran it on both the stock nickel metal hydride. I ran it on a 2S LiPo and a 3S LiPo. And temps were absolutely perfect. It got up to about 170, 180. Maybe on the high side of things, but considering the size of this thing, no issues whatsoever. Little waterproof switch here. All was good with that. The servo, although not the strongest or fastest servo, it didn't leave me wanting to upgrade it immediately, but being that we're here at the RCNetwork, that's probably going to get upgraded. On over here to the receiver, let's take a look at that thing really quick. It is the SRS4200 from Spektrum, has built-in AVC, so pretty cool feature there that, you get a nice quality receiver right outside the box, and you can always pair it to your existing race remote if you happen to have a Spektrum. So pretty cool. I've also opted to put Dean's connectors. That just makes it convenient for me for all the different batteries that I have. And let's go talk about this Fuse 4500 kV motor. Now, there's lots of skeptics out there saying that, it runs too hot, it's not big enough. And I happen to agree. It actually does run hot. I ended up not taking temps on this thing. I was kind of scared to because it was quite hot. And to be honest, it's probably a little bit small for this size of vehicle. I really wish that Losi would have put maybe a larger motor mount in this thing and give us the ability to run a 540 size motor would be great, because there's not a lot of options for the 26, 24, 28 millimeter cans or the 380 size motors that are out there. So I plan to hopefully upgrade this here soon. But so far it's worked great. Nothing has shut down on me. Nothing has overheated. It did run hot, absolutely. And you just got to be careful when you're running on 3S. You want to take some temps and just make sure that you're not going to overheat this thing, especially for long-winded runs on 3S. And just be careful, what you're going through. Are you going to be going through tall grass? That's going to put some added stress to your motor. Now onto the suspension. The threaded body shocks here, all aluminum, great shocks. They came from the Mini 8. And they've just been really proven to be a great shock. Had no issues with them. They came right out of the box, set, ready to go. I did not change anything on the suspension. All was good. Now onto some of the ball cups and the turnbuckles. Now I did pop several of them. I actually popped, I think, on the initial running video, maybe 3 or 4 of them. I ended up losing a couple of dog bones, had to find them, but all was good. And that's what they're really designed to do. They're designed to pop off so it doesn't cause added damage to your vehicle. So, but really cool design there, and pretty happy with it. As far as the slipper and the gear mesh, all was good. I actually took this thing completely apart before I started to run it. I wanted to check the gear mesh. I wanted to check the slipper clutch to make sure that that was adjusted to my liking. The slipper was a little bit tight, so I backed that off a little bit, but the gear mesh was all set, ready to go, so I was pretty happy with the gear mesh, and I have no stripped slipper or stripped gears or anything. It's ran great, and if you've seen the running video, you know that I beat the hell out of this thing. So as far as the battery compartment, probably one of the cons, as far as what I've seen and the batteries that I have, I had to do some modifications here to accommodate some of the larger batteries I have. I ended up putting some Velcro in there, and I also had to trim the tabs here just to get some of the batteries that I have to fit in there. The stock nickel metal hydride fit in there absolutely fine. There was no issue with that whatsoever. So if you plan to get a upgrade battery, a 2S or maybe a 3S, just check your sizing and make sure that that's going to fit the stock sized battery. So underside of the chassis here, the aluminum chassis, it did pretty well. I have minimal scratching. If you saw the video, I actually like to cover some of my chassis with just plain masking tape from 3M, just to help prolong the life of it, but went ahead and covered that up. It's still got some scratching on there, which is expected, especially the way I ran it, and but all was good. Arms, awesome arms. They're a lot thicker than the Mini 8, and so they seem to survive my beating I gave it. So, well, that's it, guys. That is my review so far of the Mini 8T, T for Truggy, and it's done great here. I can't wait to kind of put it through the upgrade series and really kind of test the limits of this Truggy here from Team Losi. Now, if you guys have any questions about this particular car, or maybe the upgrades I'm going to be doing to it, stay tuned or comment on down below. Well, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, on down below, and as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.